It's you versus you. And if it's you against anybody else, you've already lost. So you might as well try something new. Welcome back. Okay, so today I just want to jump into this video because I feel like this was a super highly requested video, and I just want to give you my tips because honestly, this is probably something that I'm grateful to Jesus that I no longer have any type of jealousy or animosity that comes to my mind. If I do, I identify it immediately, and then I always try to just remember that someone is always going through something. Everybody at any point in time, and you just never know when that time is. Also, hurt people, and at the end of the day, it's always going to be me versus me. So there's 5 tips that I think really help us understand how to overcome jealousy, and keeping in mind that she's not you. So the first one that I want to talk about is identifying the root cause. Is there something that's triggering you from this person because you don't have it, because you haven't experienced it yet? Especially when it comes to women that are achieving certain milestones in their life. It can be kind of like that fear of missing out, that FOMO feeling, but it might be a really good friend of yours and you don't want to feel this way because you want to be able to celebrate her, but you're not identifying the root cause of why you're feeling this way. Therefore, you allow it to manifest itself into jealousy and insecurity, because both go hand in hand. I want to read the definition of jealousy to you. That way we can just kind of go a little bit more granular. You know, as Renaissance women, we want to be someone that is continuously learning, continuously having the knowledge. We need to be able to have the vocabulary to say what's actually going on in our hearts and in our minds. So the definition of jealous: hostile toward a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage, intolerant of rivalry or unfaithfulness, disposed to suspect rivalry or unfaithfulness, or vigilant in guarding a possession. And this is why I talk about it being so important to recognize that it's always you versus you. And God's in your corner. Christ is in your corner. So there's nothing to be jealous over. Yes, you might feel insecure because somebody might have something that you don't. Yes, you might have this feeling of being left out or not having something or not achieving something. But when you identify the root cause of it being something that's actually in your control to change, then things are different. It could be past experiences that you've had or a loss that you've experienced as well. And if we haven't healed from that inner childhood trauma, it's really, really challenging for us to move on and to accept other people's wins. If you're someone that hasn't dove into scripture or therapy or a combination of both, I would highly, highly recommend you doing so. We want to make sure that we're identifying the underlying symptom because it's critical for us to be able to move on, that we understand where we've been. Another tip that I like to think about is focusing on self-compassion. And this could look like a variety of different things. I posted a video on how to basically become more feminine through Christ. And that compassion component is definitely a part of it. It's loving on yourself. It's pouring into yourself. It's becoming the best version of you that you can possibly be. It's learning about yourself and the interests that you have. It's about navigating the world from a lens of abundance and not a lack thereof. It's also about being able to extend grace to yourself when you have these feelings come over you, because it's quite natural in human nature. One of the best ways that I choose to identify my jealous feeling or emotion is to realize that it's simply an emotion. It's not a forever state of being. It's going to come and go. And it actually comes a lot less because I'm able to identify me versus me in a lot of situations, if not most situations. And there was a time where I found myself becoming very hypercritical and judgmental and comparing myself a lot. And I think that's when we start to have some issues with overcoming jealousy. We're constantly comparing ourselves. And what is comparison? The thief of joy. So it's really important for us to stay in our own lane and to extend that grace to ourselves when we have that emotion come over us. So the third concept that I really want to talk about is this concept of being vulnerable and openly communicating when we feel that envy, when we feel that jealousy, when we feel that quick, I want to snap back and say something to make this person feel less than so I can feel better. It's really, really critical for us to identify it in that moment. And it's okay, especially if you're in a safe environment. Let's say, for example, someone recently had a child and you are in the process of having a child, but maybe you're having some infertility issues, or maybe you're not necessarily married yet, and that is a part of your life that you want to experience, but you're not currently there. And maybe a friend is, announcing their pregnancy and they're really excited to share things with you, but you in your mind can't get there. You can't get to the place where you're really excited and you're happy for them. I share with you to extend that open communication with them in a way that allows them to see your heart. I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing that you're excited and you're happy for them and you wish that you could be in that space, because I bet you 9 times out of 10, your friend, a real friend, is going to be there to support you in your journey because they know that you are capable of all things through Christ. So keeping in mind that you never have to really move out of a lack of abundance, because Christ will deliver everything that you are called to be, everything that you're called to be doing. I always veer away from any type of worry or any type of insecurity because I know what God has for me. And there was a time where I struggled with being perceived and I struggled with being seen. And I wanted to be like the girls that, had a lot of confidence and ambition and drive. And they were just, able to step into any room and kill it. And what did I do? I poured into myself and I had that self-compassion and I was open and communicating with those women in my life, and they taught me and they helped me and Christ helped me. So keep that in mind. So now this leads to our fourth topic, which is self-improvement. And I talk a little bit about this in a previous video, but if there are things that are in your control that you would like to improve upon, that maybe your primary care doctor has told you, hey, when we're looking at your hypertension levels, your lipid levels, we're looking at how your overall health is mentally, physically, and you're not at a place where you are operating in his likeness and you're feeling your best self, whether you practice holistic or clinical, it's important for you to take care of you and pour into you. It's not just about the products and the face masks and the books and all of that. Sometimes it's literally just having alone time, being quiet and listening to what God is telling you to do. And that will spark you to be in the gym. That will spark you to put down the fried food. That will spark you to view your body in a way that is elevated and of superiority to your old self. And again, this is why I say it's so important. It's always you versus you. That's it. It's you versus you. And if it's you against anybody else, you've already lost. So you might as well try something new. I'm so serious though. I'm so serious. The fifth thing is to limit social media exposure. Now, this is going to be controversial because obviously I'm on social media. But when I tell you, I really have catered my social media to uplift me and to empower me. And Jazz Turner talks a lot about this on her channel. So shout out to Jazz for giving me these tips. I've unfollowed a bunch of random pages that do nothing but add drama to my life. And I follow pages that are inspiring. I follow the In Totality podcast. I follow a whole bunch of different pages that uplift me and affirm me and make me feel good about myself. I follow creators with my body type, with my hair type, just with the ability to be able to connect and seeing people that really bring me up. If you're following pages that bring you down, that could be half the problem because we consume so much media on a daily basis. So it's important to kind of curtail that. And that's going to help you not have that jealous feeling and that insecure feeling because you're going to be constantly affirming yourself. Another thing that I think about, which is kind of like a bonus tip, is stop worrying about what everybody everybody else is doing, what everybody else is achieving. Stop trying to one up somebody. Stop trying to feel like you're superior than somebody, because everybody is going through something, okay? Everybody at certain points, at certain distinct points in their lives, right? And you don't know everybody's story. Just because that's someone that you've known for a super long time and you feel like you've seen their entire journey, you really don't know a lot. And it's important for us to be mindful of that. Everybody is always going through something. So extend grace, extend love, extend passion and compassion, extend empathy, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And when you get that feeling of jealousy, I always say, if I ever get that feeling of jealousy or insecurity or feeling like somebody has something that I don't, I always say, Eliana, stop, because it's you versus you. So I really hope you like this video. I tried to keep it short, sweet, very cutesy, very demure, very, very mindful. So I really hope you like this. If anything resonated with you, feel free to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Love you.